ain't keeping it low-key. I can carve the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. See my route took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Well, the hope, Coach, was that these Florida showers would have passed through by now, but it looks like we're in for a wet one tonight at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Got it! Check Mike 45! Check Mike 45! Watch a slant! Watch a slant! Watch a slant!
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Set, hut, 6 yards. I'm coming for you. You mine. 61. Match box.
From the gun, Jackson. It's caught by Jackson. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
After the run by Jones, here's first and 10.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve. He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it third down.
Let's go now. 15 on it. 15 on it. Rush, rush. 90 is the mic. And let's get this. Get this. 90 is the mic. Here it comes. Here it comes. 90 is the mic.
Jackson from the shotgun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down but come up empty. And this defense holds on the night's opening drive.
Got it. 55. Right 55. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Hey, Orbit. 55. Now.
Throwing on 1st down. Finney. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On 1st and 10, Finney. He gets this to Devontae Adams. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now Ito Smith. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they look at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth.
No gain on the play. It's now fourth down.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. We're scoreless after one.
No score.
It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55.
Let's go one more. Echo. 45's the mic.
All day. Just like that. 45. Mike, 45.
You remember me?
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw again. And that is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And he's got Miller. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
Ready?
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Smooth. Greystone, travel. 44 Mike. Check. You got block me. Go.
To throw on second down. Finney. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
Boy. Mike spoke both. I got him.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Finney. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And that'll hit and go out of bounds, so they'll start just outside their own 40-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
On second down at 4, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
90 is a mic. Shit. Hut, 64. Wait. Watch the shit. Hey, watch the shit.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. It's caught. Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Back to throw. Finney. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. Back to the air on 2nd down. Finney. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right.
From the shotgun to give to Jones.
Go, go, go.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
He's brought down by Deion Jones.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Switch.
At the 37-yard line.
Let's walk. Right. Hayward.
On 2nd and 9. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It's now 3rd down.
So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
We got this.
At their own 19-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the...
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked picked off at the 33. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. To throw again. Finney will set up the screen to Smith. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Check. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Operating from the gun. Finney. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Falcons send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. It's taken to the 26. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Let's pick it up.
It's now 3rd down.
Let's get off the field.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Going deep this time for Miller. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. This is Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
Let's go. Hey, no. It's a slip. That's a slip. Strong left.
They'll go again to Jones. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keeping the short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working and call more of that.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Down. 18 Gator. 55. Check tight. Check tight. Check tight. Go.
Looking to throw on second down. Finney throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ito Smith that time, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing on third and long. Finney nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's going to go down again. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Scott Miller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So the first play of the drive, they strike through the air and score.
A lot of coaches like change of possession as a time to go ahead and strike, and that's what we saw there. Ball turned over, first play, right to the end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
On second down, it's Smith. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking to throw. Finney. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain. The throw right sideline here is complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2. His throw incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Back to throw. Finney. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Looking to throw. Finney. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Let's see what you got.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
22, jet, bomber. 22, jet, bomber.
45. Mike, 45.
Hey, keep it, hey. Let's go. Let's go. Jet,
Throwing again. Jackson.
What we got?
It's caught. It's Miller. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scott Miller with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
55.
On 1st down, Finney. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here we go. Six the outlaw. Back the pass.
After the interception, here's Jackson going up top for Miller. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Scott Miller, 44 yards. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
And the shovel pass to the running back goes for no yardage, but they used to call that the Utah pass, made famous by Coach Cactus Jack Curtis and his quarterback, Lee Grosscup.
Here we go on second and 12. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. So from the 36 now, first and 10. They'll run it now with Smith. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. From the gun, Finney. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on first and 10.
Don't let him breathe. Play that tight deep. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Hey, Zoo.
Operating from the gun. Finney. He's got Smith here. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up a second down. Here's 2nd and 8. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Drop deep, drop deep. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Montez Sweat make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coach say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Throwing on first down. Finney nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold up. You're going to keep getting sacks.
So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bucs, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew,